na sa game no ba so mo ne Vancouver ana dem boy ni this later sin nyina no e ba na no training ground so David Beckham and the club owner the Emma Inter Miami enra wunu ansom ba camp for ebe Ginger Boys abran no mo training section ansom nwe koso Messi ni na wacha Messi na afi Boys o maka wo sia we no ha ken na afi our pitch no so David Beckham enra wo see some skills be the Bobby at the 29 so ball totals mama hey Beckham kramu China masa obetimi ati JC enso agina mu abobi the ama Inter Miami o mboboko no atese tuma je ni nyina no enra no so metimi course ade awon samade ahead of the game wo mu airball we MLS Cup final and ya dem the salary tasiri nyina no at ever now nim say ene some match na pass no bia nim say bia yo Messi ana obia hwe no awa sa game Miami foi wo mu dey condemn Vancouver wo mu team no winning say Bayern Munich former player Fencer Thomas Muller ana Tome enso ngina enchana unu anso ba ginam na fe wadi gro ade ama wo mu a ya dem the sansam ni nyina teba na Bayern players no o ma ya video edem ama ene Thomas Muller wo mu we the best zone ya ene de bibia anso ebesi a chase Messi no ma yeso wombeji na mom no ya tamachi pampe Bayern Munich where players ne kakra wo ma ye edem Thomas Muller ahead of the game and no baso and anumri.
I want to say congratulations for getting to the final.
Servus Tommy, herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Einzug ins Finale.
Servus Mulli, ein weiteres Finale für dich.
Hey Thomas, ich wollte Glückwunsch sagen for your win in the West Conference Final.
I just want to say good luck to Vancouver and Thomas Muller in the MLS Finals.
Hey Mulli, wir wünschen dir viel Erfolg am Samstag um 20:30 Uhr im Finale.
Jawohl, da wo du hingehst, werden Titel gewonnen. Also viel Erfolg.
Viel Erfolg.
Mach einfach das, was du dein Leben lang gemacht hast und gewinn die Dinger auch.
Wir freuen uns sehr für dich und Upa und ich drücken ganz fest die Daumen. Wir gucken es selbstverständlich gemeinsam an. Public Viewing bei Upa zu Hause, hat schon alle eingeladen.
We're wishing you the best of luck. We'll be watching.
So best of luck, Vancouver. I know Thomas Muller and any teammates from Bayern Munich. What do we and some them and do US there. Now my men come in the World Cup draw. No about so my president in my US of A. Donald Trump and Gianni Infantino FIFA and some president and a red carpet timer. Now World Cup draw and some pass in where I am Penifana draw this woman as US president. One and they host World Cup on the above final. When you come into what they seen in Asupa. One Donald Trump and your Momo and I was from Infantino and the Trump now and the Atem Momo some also at the upper and Rabbi Vosa draw about standing ovation across some Donald Trump and after the first lady of United States and year before sir not drawn Donald Trump near one the first lady our United States and Aroma. Ya the first and the lady ya almost standing ovation and Salah draw and some basso at Sabrina and but Donald Trump before sir ya the drawn basso Bonabasso and some more HS Donald Trump first ever peace prize award and Mano and no Gianni Infantino peace award no and no more at Donald Trump no HS Donald Trump ayobia ya can we sing in some yes so and the idea fana sum so Donald Trump yobia when number 1 and tokwa AC we are singing no banisam yanka amama emoma one and Donald Trump no and number 1 it is a peace prize award no one mu ademan ansana draw basum yebetie Infantino president adema FIFA kakra one attitude ansana wo the award no president of America Donald Trump.
And you will receive also, of course, a certificate which reads out, and I would read it out with your permission, what are the reasons for you receiving this FIFA Peace Prize, Football Unites the World. So the FIFA Peace Prize is presented annually on behalf of the billions of football-loving people from around the world to a distinguished individual who exemplifies an unwavering commitment to advancing peace and unity throughout the world through their notable leadership and action. And therefore, FIFA, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, awards the 2025 FIFA Peace Prize, Football Unites the World, to Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, in recognition of his exceptional and extraordinary actions to promote peace and unity around the world. Friday, December 5th, 2025. This is the certificate. It's yours. Before giving you the floor, Mr. President, if I may say 2 words. Like everyone here in the room, we see images of war all over the world. And like everyone, we suffer for every child that dies. We cry with every mother that loses someone she loves. And we want to see hope. We want to see unity. We want to see a future. And I was lucky, Mr. President, to witness a few years ago, the Abraham Accord signatures.
God brana womo bona baso de certificate no afem manu dia tin sem no pete ba way American President Donald Trump ne message no ana ene ono so ode kakra to dwane mum no ene before say award no paso one musa say before the draw na onim say obewi ni peace prize award na ana Donald Trump attitude say no na onim say ono ebetima win the peace prize award obi anso ankan chane so ono ana win ye na to dem na to dwane say obetimi aka say wabod home tempa Omona baso anasa no wa baso nemo obetimi akase wa bomodin because eba se ne we be the president tell America no was settle 8 wars and tokoma akumaku 8 and no president no was settle and afedi atoso 9 and am kwanso a and also settle anche krobewie enti enya ne surprises ya bona baso as a peace prize award what enso majane so deserve and no American president no dene and no fro no madebe don sem nyina no atem na shockingly annual draw no airbus no say Mexico Canada and the US of a woman miansa and AOC in the 2026 World Cup no na before say draw no airbus no na yabema kwan ama US way woman koyi Canada koyi ama Mexico and some koyi na countries ne de na say obia be president bia be ne de na Trump ne mama ya madia dada ama chese ne yenim de mu koye na Trump asaka sa de mi bayi mi aminim se bayi US of A ampani ampa na we see US because no na o ma sese country be a president ba and as a prime minister ba obey ni country Donald Trump ne guy and sesio me be de mi be US de only ampani ampa na fe US de and so and we man for so and draw no say man for say your bobby cold one e bi so hot one and ya de man for say ne yetimi plan any ateni nyina no enso show evidence a yetem na wonsam no at the airback drone no enya baso na say ana countries no womu enso place womu the fire na odu group ho ana Mexico no was South Africa na Africa Korea Republic womu enso the group A ana fe yebenya UEFA playoff no group and I said D no womu me qualify no so baba na from baba be said D no na fe nyama e kama eno the phone me te badu group B a obenya Canada ubenya UEFA playoff no no womu be qualify ba be shem and Africa and Switzerland womu and some group B or group C no Brazil Morocco Haiti and Africa Scotland womu and some the group C ya don some deba group D no na US of A ubenya Paraguay ubenya Australia na UEFA playoff no C no womu also qualify we na to be qualify ba be join udu group E na Germany na Curacao may and some obenya la Cote d'Ivoire and afa Ecuador womo group E and afa group F no and some Netherlands womo ho obenya Japan and afa obenya UEFA playoff B no womo qualified woba win no one so na afa Tunisia and some group F and no African country womo and some womo our group G ho na Belgium obenya Egypt obenya Iran and afa New Zealand womo so no our group G don some no dem group H no Spain, Ivory and Cape Verde, and some no by Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay, woman some no group H or group I no one. Ubenya France and Senegal, Massa. Oh, sa group, tough group Senegal. Woman in France, one half a FIFA playoff no. Ubenya and the Omosum Omoboria, Diobeni Ebeba, Nafe Niamansum, like come and after Norway, and some no group I and after group J one or Argentina, Anna Algeria, Anna Austria, and after Jordan, and my name answer Waman Faso is your mom Rapa, Ademalio Messi, and after Argentina, our group K one of Portugal, and after FIFA playoff I honor woman baby no woman some nababa yebenya Uzbekistan woman some nababa and after Colombia woman some nababa and no group K I doing some no adebanti Portugal and after Uzbekistan Colombia and no more woman back on a man for the Hanson Ronaldo woman so anya dear for group L I wanna ya traya man for ya na ya na Ghana ya beko he and ya de Ghana ebe piemo group L yani England Croatia and after Panama yan some na want to say and a group no and ra woman ya draw no area ya no some na ko piema ya don some de Ghana ya be base wo US of ya ball ya matches no be and after Canada and no from my dementi Mexico ni nyina no enya de se Ghana for empire mo boy eya juma no Mexico eya US and Africa Canada and Ghana ye busy aboy in group games no and eya de from my dem France and Brazil eya match and over pa and eya de no so ya rese no and you man so betima ya kama 26 match no wo mo be ball and Sunday ne wo mo enso ma prepare wo mo ho e de akoram e the World Cup proper ya de awon sam ni nyina no antem ba na World Cup no Mami Enra Brana trophy no womo edeba Argentina womo coach your friend Lionel Scaloni no anade in the group stage see and as a trophy and some leba stage no so I just say womo and ya world champions womo na trophy womo ayo mo dia womo chi ya obianye bie enti Argentina coach and Enra no so ade eba stage ya de and the san seven nyina no ade ba say World Cup no e be say the Super Bowl ya ba na halftime show ya nya musicians yeah, one more better gem and one more Mababa supporters and our group of US for no one more and some lectures one more confirming Senra one more treasure halftime show no and also Mababa so first half here ball and the first half na near nice stadium one once a while dini adeno yebenya musicians one Baba ball and yum and ya day halftime show because kakra and some no one no treasure ya to say MBA say halftime show no because MBA bet me delay second half no and no and a man for assembly and also banisa coaches ebenya in night time and so any players and so makasa our dressing room any day and no and koma and also akoso and you try said you know woman the halftime show no best no minute do NBA musicians one be performing live no woman so at the baba tuja now for World Cup no nyaman so na kama ya de and 70 per day now na Gianni Infantino and what they kakram na dey to do say this World Cup no and not just the greatest event, about the greatest event in human history. And that's yeah, catch a World Cup about the greatest event. Oh, I will boom dabi. I will nipa abakosemu. Nina no sa World Cup about strongcom. I know I had to take out to do some no at the greatest ever. I had a witness Nyama. One of the best for the first time no the halftime show. And so Abesha Nyama Bebroa. One more day back. I know Nebema. I had the greatest one ebema ewiase nyina so ma wo se World Cup we ada sronko ekra eno ayede ne manager na as president adem atuja don some nyina no adeba first game our the World Cup no yebenya Mexico wo mo ane South Africa and bonti Africa for yeah and you better World Cup na ne Mexico and am boy in first game no ayede for ma deba man for 2010 DSC ya no ebe send the game eno aye 2025 and some ne ya ana 2020 and the World Cup 2026 I know and some our ya can say omaya ya fan say US of Canada and Mexico abraya nya Mexico omo and South Africa e come and some baso don 70p atem emma and no pay e was so now your Messi and some first game against Algeria and a man for some Algeria and Argentina there some and also and the game some Messi e funny easy and no the front my dem no I want some no ode and Argentina emma Algeria nam Ronaldo Ronaldo and some ever Colombia and Uzbekistan. Wow. And also Messi ball Nigeria no nam Ronaldo and so Colombia and Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is Ronaldo jiga between above 4 goals and some game no and them bench way I said a draw no and some and some p and some Ronaldo and Messi o metimesiana so Portugal at top group now. So omo finish top omo group num na Argentina enso finish top a reporter abanisam or quarter final adesam omo enso ebetima homo our the quarter final stage omo enso ebetima sia no ayakakra efo no mateba dem ensam the pino atem neba Vinicius Junior on Instagram and after some Brazil draw no enso bawie and was famous Brazil na sam omo eye dema Brazil and national team na no ayakakra free at the Bantu on the Twitter no and way by a manager as a Brazil or national team no Don Carlo Ancelotti ye why Juma or call Brazil Nyama Gusua or boy Juma Fena Juma na do Jamano Yabusani send group no and then Morocco and some Morocco African country Morocco the last World Cup one African country or Africa and some and Pomote and some Remakaki to in Morocco final and no Carlo Ancelotti Ajatum say Morocco group no one more and the most dangerous club and as a country I want and the group we know my dear Morocco and and some hupa yentie manager that Don Carlo Ancelotti on draw by against Morocco the dangerous Morocco crown or mine kasano me dangerous group no
reached the semi-final of the World Cup. Does it make it the most dangerous in the group?
Yes, most dangerous team, of course. They play well. They did a great result. They did fantastic in the World Cup. They have a fantastic manager, and so it will be difficult.
Come vede questo finale?
Oh, I know a manager no OTA Don Carlo Ancelotti. I was the Brazil national team no SMP at the against Scotland saying Anna Brazil mobile fast game no what they can say against Morocco. Morocco the dangerous in the Kaje as Nyami Aduma next year all boss Scotland so a very tough game at the Brazil.
Your thoughts coming up against Scotland and Steve Clarke?
Yes, I spoke with him and I said to him, I will see you soon. It's a difficult group, but it will be exciting to play important games in the group phase. Scotland did really well in the qualification, about the last 2 games, and so I think it will be an entertaining game.
What do you think of the Scotland team? Obviously a lot of players from the Premier League. How much of a task will it be against them?
Solid team, strong team, physically strong, really well organized, like this.
Your thoughts coming up against
and some Carlo Ancelotti manager the Brazil to do some kakra what them amayan is a timer do any timer it's not time to make tests zambia or contest be any adi name or resen yaman so ebetima kama at amomo or resa ene omu ebe ball friendly games and also ebetimi akona nim said baya womo enso ebetimenya ene team no eye said be World Cup romo ko diagro enso womo so on player no obeka say or selected player or friend at the World Cup player or say obey the best World Cup there be or player obetimi aboa am winning World Cup no any player I watch the best World Cup and no and watch any no or so player or no some obetimi aboa am Brazil winning World Cup any adebakua one no any as a manager I know and some of them atuja den 70 no as Morocco and some no Thierry Henry at the atuja about yakana say Brazil one squad the manager friend say Ancelotti and some like and was say group na Brazil and damno say name abeba na say name form no aya ebetimi aboa ama Brazil for no group no maye bibi name say name abeba na say name form no nya no na bema Morocco and some topic group say name amaswa eba Morocco and say Brazil ama Morocco a topic group no and some kakra de atu that Henry and some ahead of World Cup no Brazil and Morocco group no emu pa.
Terry, let me ask you though, who do you have winning that group, Brazil or Morocco? it depends if Neymar comes back in a good shape and if he makes it. I wouldn't be surprised if Morocco tops the group in terms of how they are at the minute. But Brazil is still Brazil. You have to still give them their respect.
If we see a renaissance of Brazil, because Brazil's not at a good place necessarily right now, and in that first game they come out and they announce their presence with authority, that would be something.
Any uncommon across the Henry, and then round them and common piece of Basses, Ocean, the World Cup all-time top scorer. They say Mbappe, our the next World Cup, once Mbappe, one did to make your World Cup final, and what Bob goes in the break, and some my boy, to my mention is Namia Dumas. I say, I kind of 5 goals now for Miroslav Klose in the World Cup all-time top scorer. The German and the machine, Omo, and some legend, now also at me to the Klose, and no, I reporter in front of my 25 goals and Mbappe and here our the next World Cup no some Ababesa record now yet and 70 at Argentina women are world champions. They say World Cup no women and the manager Lionel Scaloni and the two doors say easy on some group for no man for say more for and was there is no easy group said the man for and some like a group where there more for and as Argentina and some funny easy and you know and was the opponent to Bienua easy treaty a game after a game and what you to that so Algeria for no woman a very strong side and the Wontumi Mankasene woman and some demo just a form and answer woman form fala nina no no some kaya day I want somebody to do was I repeat and they also treaty every match after match now for Nyama and some come in Argentina and manage and your pressure I want to become for us or different and no I dear phone my table and 70 pino and some Austria for no one coach in a rough running at a Kakratuja first in Algeria our group C say and one also who know so or bet me Algeria for a strong team all team in Kase and omunim bono ebo omunim bopa na omo and some abefa game no serious yentie rough running kakra wate to the reaction first in Algeria our World Cup where a group C women some and Algeria our game.
Yeah, they are a strong team. They qualified in a good manner, and I know that the head coach used to be the head coach for Switzerland, so he's a European with a coach with a European approach. So yeah, it's a difficult team to play, but we are also a difficult team to play. So it will be exciting to see. The same with Jordania. So we wanted to play a friendly game against Jordania, so we now have to find a new opponent. Yeah, but we have enough time. The good thing is that we know against which teams we are going to play, and obviously we will watch each other in the friendly games in March.
Do you know some Algerian players?
I know some of the players, yes, of course. Benzebaini, who's playing for Borussia Dortmund, of course. Yes, of course, those are the ones everybody knows.
Do you have an idea from Algerian team?
As I said, yes, I know that in most of the games they played with a back four. They were trying to build up from the back, ball possession-based team. So we know a few things, but as I said, in detail, obviously we will watch the team play in March.
For Germany,
it's such a long time ago.
That this game will be special between Algeria and
come across World Cup no I won't come on and yet to drama me Deco. Now you need come on Deco adding some kakra area to do a World Cup no team by and I bet you Ombusan was some on Konya and Portugal and winning World Cup no Portugal for no team no a very complete team here and to me and Yabusan is Spain Brazil and Argentina and so was he forget you I forgot Brazil you forget Argentina and after teams I can no cheating as a team met me I really need the World Cup and Rasso Ronaldo and some I left the trophy and no Deco and some of them to donate Deco ya during that time now and some do a Jama Portugal as a Ronaldo and in the team now and some effort the World Cup and Deco summer what them to Ghana young group for them now you come on Ghana and Panama and I tell everybody na young group no Obiasa team here you have so 3 ebisa Ghana ebisa Panama 4 ebisa omeje 7 ebisa 8 ebisa 3 points na se agene ntam kra enso mwa wana coach ni Panama 4 coach no nye na anra our World Cup draw ne wi an ebisa ne say coach no Didi Thomas and Christiansen one on the coach Panama team no was on Black Stars a team ne pa na onim coach Otto Addo onim no Dortmund adwuma coach Otto Abo enti onim team ne kakra onim coach no enso kakra na sa match ne de emu be Japan yentie Ghana yen opponent ye didi say omuna omuye weak pa e yen group no omu coach no nye wade nkomo kakra atudwa yentie Thomas Christiansen.
Well, I was with the coach before in an interview with Panama. I faced him when I was player in the Bundesliga, so I know him, know the quality that he had as a player, and how he's bringing that to the team. Of course, also in Iñaki Williams, he plays in Athletic Bilbao. So I have good references from Ghana, and it would be a tough game. Well,
I know your coach, your friend is Thomas, and the Christians, and your coach at the Panama group, you know, your opponent in Ghana for this easy cry. As you bet many 3 points in England, and some about coach, you know, Thomas Tuchel coach you para points England from Ansunya, na your coach, you know, na what discussing kakra against Ghana. Against Croatia and the Panama Sana group no Esitiadema England Sana usi huno as a coach wakasa one also at an observation kakra and so at the ababo until one group or them yentie coach kakra or the tuda.
It was an option, but now I have to look at the possibilities and the venues from tomorrow. I think we will try to make decisions in the next weeks.
What's the priority in that regard?
The priority could be like having a small hotel just for us to privatize, having good training facility, don't need to travel and play in 24 degrees. So it was just not happening. We will find I'm convinced that we will find a good solution that ticks a lot of boxes. Like I just said, I think the distances between the venues and the possibilities that can occur during a tournament against whom you play and where you play, they're just too big to have the feeling, okay, we covered all options. We will just need to be flexible in our mindset and control what we can control.
I know your coach in some annual as a manager of the England national team no group no made the Panama coach about the England and some Diabayani Croatia and so Gema Yaba Bona Zlatko Dalic a manager or in some kakra to join some group no access group no and Womu Busan against Black Stars Ghana and against other teams in the same and also who draw no as a manager one other team no ba coach at the kakra to join so chim say and osi en group no.
How was the competition like before you came out here, when you got to know that you are facing Ghana?
We don't hear too much about Ghana. I know my friend Asamoah Gyan, he played with me when I was in LA. I know that will be very tough game. Special Ghana team is very strong, very fast. It cannot be easy for us. We must do everything checking this team. I know your ambition also pass group stage is our goal, our target, and then go step by step. Not be easy. Maybe will be a little bit easy. Will be tough game in the group stage. We'll know too much things about the next step. But full respect for Ghana team. I know they're not be easy opponents.
And some coach area to die no be easy and no manager the Croatia and I didn't some pino to the coach to adon so then some panemo about time bar one and some about the Black Stars and come at the amai what one sem baba bastituta at the to do Lautaro Martinez and Julian Alvarez no a man fast started a comparison also when I started I exaggerate to be beer and from Mamranti because it's our two players who enjoy one game in Tiama na omonsom enjoy womu ho eno ayen sama bastituta ade atodwa yen kreti ene problem bia mfama nkudai ensom na bia nu eno ayen jote atodwa so hu mo our national team a wo enjoy omu ye panti wani amfa o time bia ametu womu because omu ensom ayen nuanom eno ayen bastituta sama wari atodwa legend ade ma Argentina and ade sansemwe ade tudwa tonsam no afem aba Managerial reporter eba so say Abranches Zielinski a player bia ne quality no ade sam awosro ye ka top 5 men for that so we are here said Zielinski and some ka ho anu yan sama Managerial Mario and a real afem atudwa tonsam no ade ema ne anope na unim say Barca for them deco and some enkomo about Julian Alvarez no and what they atudwa so no on comment and some enfa and a player bia ho wanyani player sembia Abranches Julian Alvarez no wanya player fama Barca ntinade se ne wodo ensom ebetimi a comment and asembia obekasa dia fan reporter eban say article for no Atletico Madrid yasim omonche less than 200 million euros for player I feel say Julian Alvarez say Barca for no Samaya Madrid say mbia mo be for boy Namafana, say not less than 200 million energy. Woman says some triatia, woman and some liberty machimunafe, boy and some letimiaquano, a reporter from Mateban Bopi, and after Real Madrid for the player of the month of November, and some call a day, Ama Mbappe, or no Ayatene, and no F1 Mateba Zabia Alonso, no, is Alonso release stress, Kakwani wifey, and some when you say pressure Alonso, so and Yasame 20 years old coffee and one wife feels so much woman kakra na nyaman so aye coming to Alonso and then the wife and afi omo and some policy away don some no at the emane and pay so so and asame 20 lectures a few at the bon deco and come on say Araujo issue ni dia wa say o kamo bia te say one boy no and some nakasa awie enu ano no one ni nkomo bia di afutua esem odema boy no watu fo and some awie eno aye deco and some dia tuta ya dem the sansom ni nyina no ate aboso ni Araujo akasa once and one no afutuo bia so dem player wono ensom anya ade amane ntese de wo hwete no som be free mo ate aba on Lewandowski contract no anu say Lewandowski ni de munimo ye ka one of the best strikers wo mo wi ase recently masa Lewandowski one nemom no ne contract issue ni dem wo munya ni nkomo enso emfa wo still early say ne ebia wo be ka se boy ensom be free makomugusu wo mo yesa de nyama ensom betima kama ate amatim no na Barca wo mo game against an entrant Frankfurt reporter eba ane de yatenezia say over 300 and a Barca wo mo ensom supporters no ane say wo mo ye reselling and no e come new ticket no wo mo twa black market agum ate amade German fans and ye $3 anu a German 5 naija wono ensom ade 2 atwa ne how far and no e black market and no e kosom ane adu nsem ni nyina no as the Emma Nano pay was so near Juve Acadios Melix a player matches at the end of the season no and sure ya omo consider say woman terminating the contract at the end of the season and reporter if one mateba do some no at the Liverpool is a Mohamed Salah reporter ban say yes Al Ittihad Tima woman I was Saudi Arabia woman contact him and say Liverpool enquiry says Abranchena ya fan Salah no ebe possible say nyame adoma mbia January transfer window no emuba bia enkomo ensom ensaka boya enkabe bo apante say yes Saudi foi ensom asa bam tententia wo mo yese Mohamed Salah wo mo sam ebetimi aka no Alexander Isak nie na Isak our Liverpool and was say or expect so obey more etem ama Liverpool abade starting on was started life enya easy our Liverpool and fama no nemom wonim dia all hwehwe our Liverpool bibia ni wabebuna bam yentie abrantie Alexander Isak or discuss ne life early life I was started our Liverpool and said enyama esiko nemo do kanyina ne say o expecting more and so at the a few on one ho at the amatim no
I expect to do much more of course I always do that even when I do really well, I want more. So that's not a problem for me. But yeah, I'm just trying to stay positive, trying to work to do better, and that's what I'm looking to do. I expect to do much more, of course. I always do that.
No, Alexander Isak and Como and what you do as well expect so be more. And a slot coach at the team friends Liverpool. It's more pressure. I want and a slot so pressure no more now. I want to sign now coach and some and you was say and a difficult pass. They say be him say Liverpool. A difficult situation more now or say supporters no omotanachi or supporter fans at him man and any super. Wabo supporters naba so feeling good. Say supporters eternity and take a cry or they are to that.
You actually feel like you've learned more about the club and the city and the people through the tough times than you did last season when basically everything went to plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't say learn, but it has shown me even more how special this club is. Because if you win, I think every fan is supportive. Everywhere around the world, you can make the difference as a fan base. When things are difficult, and I think the first time they've shown this was of course when the tragedy with Diogo happened, and the way this season has went, I think the players felt the same, a lot of support from them, and that's much more difficult for a fan base, and this is where they stand out compared to so many other fan bases.
Do you actually feel like you've learned?
Manager of the Liverpool and a slot no and what do to the Leon team no ya coach Chelsea report am ban say Disasi one player ya tese say omo we say nyame adoma wo mo enso any Chelsea edin komo na afi wo mo enso aton on loan and wo mo Leon for no say loan no enso ebetima akoso diama Disasi no report from my debo mo Chelsea egusu nyame adoma January and wo besa do no enso akoso na Pep Guardiola abo Chelsea coach na baso Enzo Maresca now or an assistant coach now they say one of them did the match as well say current managers the best managers are and say Enzo Maresca and they say we are seeing now one of them the best and I'm over say Pep no what's that mind games and some no extra Pep era tactics and our pay game no currently was say on bomb manager be abasua or on one former assistant coach I friend is Enzo Maresca Abaso.
Incredible optimistic person and positive person, and I want to see the good things that we have done against Leeds. What happened afterwards, one for me, the best managers in the world, Enzo Maresca. I know him quite well, but the job has done in Chelsea is not credit enough. Working the World Cup, conference, qualification of the Champions League, and that league is so tough. Young team, how develop all the players. So it's exceptional, and go Ellen Road, look what happened. So it's really difficult. I'm an incredible optimistic person.
No, coach Enzo Maresca, Pep Guardiola, Africa Crum, and so they bet in 70 Pietema. Now, Kobe Mino, no Manchester United, Kobe, say, Ruben Amorim, say, oh my boy, and some time you be one. Now, I'm game against West Ham, and manager, I found Ruben Amorim a different day, one of some decision, say, one my boy in the time. I was a game against West Ham United, and our church was him on the manager, and a decision, a player be ball, and as a player be a coach and Chechemo te buy on sir Kobe Manu against West Ham. No single minute for the guy. Coach actually.
Of course, I understand, and my job is to answer, but I'm trying to answer always the same thing, and you ask me always the same thing. I understand what you are saying. You love Kobe. He starts for England, but that doesn't mean that I need to put Kobe when I feel that I shouldn't put Kobe, so it's my decision.
For all you say about the academy, that you don't actually trust the academy.
Why?
Because you never pick any players.
Any players we have Kobe Mino.
Well, Lacey.
But Lacey in difficult situations, and Lacey sometimes when Brian is not there, I put Ahmad because I have other wing backs to play, and sometimes it's hard. So you are asking me why I don't put Lacey to play when I have other guys that are international and also they are in the bench. So I try to put the best guys, the prepared guys for this moment of the club and try to win a game. That's the only thing, guys. Of course I understand.
Oh, and we are Manchester coach Williams Naso Dipa or Ruben Amorim and some and no defending decision and coaching in some England journalists no so no do baby woman the pressure Emma coaches in too much and no and some the Sunderland men say I could have them Manchester United young goalkeeper onye na ne gloves no what throw numbers agone gloves no some names yeah the numbers yeah juma numerologist no omo ekasa numbers ekasa bebre o hwe ne gloves no number be 24 and some down number 18 ya dem and what chotra dem what na wa cheche mu numbers no dientia ne gloves no what throw bibi e dia go dientia. Oh, I know I am common. There was a basketball player, Kobe Bryant, ni idol, ni jersey number 24, any 18, and a good gloves in arches or Shabian Wakai, Nani Montemo, and so a conquer top player, and some, and as a goalkeeper, the Manchester United, and you're doing some P at them, Bana, Arsenal, Timno, manager, friend Mikel Arteta, and they are to the lineup, and as some Omukobus and the lineup as a move, and what them to just say, okay, coach, or Dikai Emma, the lineup a day before a game, and Jose Mourinho, the time Chelsea, woman game against Barcelona, Jose Mourinho a day before, Jose in the lineup in Nababa until Jose players, woman game in only Jose Mourinho and the team at the lineup about a day before. Now, on so I was say one day, Arsenal come up ball, on so about Jose Mourinho, dear Jose 20 years ago, one also about say Obebi.
The day before the game, he named his team and he sort of said, I don't care, here's my lineup, we're going to win anyway. Have you ever considered?
I will do that one day. So Mourinho's been in the game for how long? 25 years? So that will happen at some point.
It sends a message though, doesn't it? It sends a message, I think, to your team.
Yeah. And knowing Jose very well, the message is very clear and with a very clear purpose as well. So yeah.
Because obviously you're quite guarded on your team news.
The only manager Jose Mourinho one day on some rest of dropping the lineup a day before. I want some I don't know team no ever and that game no Aston Villa money Arsenal game near 12:30 and Basso Bournemouth any Chelsea at 3 o'clock. So game no Basso Everton Nottingham Forest at 3 Man City any Sunderland any at 3 Newcastle any Burnley and after Tottenham team no woman Brentford and so 3 and Leeds United and Liverpool 5:30 that game no and also La Liga no yenya Villarreal omni hete fi game no and 1 p.m. Deportivo Alaves womo and Real Sociedad and 3:15 and after Real Betis omni Barca 5:30 and Abenya Atletico Madrid womo Athletic Club Bilbao womo game no and also Barca 8 p.m. way game say Barca Italian Serie A no and Sassuolo Calcio omni Fiorentina bo Inter any Como ball and after Hellas Verona omni Atlanta and some de bani Germany no and Benya team and friends Stuttgart womo and Bayern Munchen womo game near 2:30 womo and some ball and after Osberg game no womo ball Bayern or Follower Kimson and also 2:30 mom and as game no ebeba so yede and some de mantuwe match say Basso French Ligue no 8 p.m. na PSG womo ball René match no and match and also Basso to say and ACT our leagues no and so as your fixtures and the games Basso be afanya atenase ba na yaba beto so ediam ha Wontumi 101.3 Wontumi TV Wontumi weekend sports is a born yeba na afebiafo ababi room quick one. Na sinti yamre na yeni enkomomiza se bibia bokode
nyame adom
good nyame adom nsum ho ye pa bibia ye fine sorry okay wow mze ob ye se na moto visa bible no deba
Division 1 League book.
Sir, was a Bible now? No, I don't hear read it. Don't visit. Oko has empakana or fast by. Azedi I don't know. Azedi Jumo so Jumo be my.
One I didn't sabisu mu ye ne. Say otimenka. Me to nka pa. Me be ni say ya. No kwase. Eh me ho ye nyame adom. Na nra na metrotro nyoma bi wom na makai na makofa ba related to the World Cup draw. Strictly Division 1 League book. So sha one season cross.
Yeah.
2020 21 22 Division 1 League zone 3 di ni. Yeah. Anti me obe say ya zone 1 zone 2 zone 3.
Oh, okay. Chamano no.
Oh, so
well, yeah, but I be then Commodore Dawson, World Cup or League One. Why? And then Dawson, and then the MC, and then Dawson be play. World Cup in common.
And I send the bet me up on bear 4.
Oh, bear 4, 5 more. The MC. Mtomo pedu anamla. Munye odesimla. Why? 2-1 is here too. Whoa, yamre na yasamila. Yan starting na. Mini baby abe starting. If it's a World Cup, you be buy into our league. Baby abe febia.
I think there's no way I be buy say and Saturday no pay. Brother has been a World Cup draw.
Yeah.
Yendi hun komo. To put it into context, this is the biggest national team competition in the world. We are seeing now comes to a standstill when there is a World Cup. Ubia yedi, ubia tutu na namo so kuhibia huni se diversity ako.
Yeah.
Inti ebedi World Cup nkomo kakra. Ni ewisu a ya he matches ni bisu kakra wo ho. Na yede asoso. Na yeba efisu a ya be discuss the possibilities of a Ghana
team.
So everything I will discuss about the World Cup will be totally away from Ghana's group. Then yebe fear. Then we have a proper attention on them. Ghana group no need the way Anyoma ACT NTO.
Okay.
I think the whole concept of the draw is one of the best I've ever seen when it comes to a football draw. Now you share the UEFA Champions League draws, you have various FIFA World Cup draws. But I think for Infantino, this is a new level. I would be a new Anyoma Bibre Hua. It is a fata pass and no pay a tear, be catching and say, why are dear mo any yo? Because of Kwan Wafaswa Washisha World Cup.
Okay.
We say ne damusurunku. Bienti damusurunku niye. Ne say this is the first time I World Cup aye bono 3 countries and a hosti. There has been only one time where I 2 countries are hosted the World Cup. That was in 2002. And Yebenya Korea and Yebenya
Japan. Yeah.
Fast forward after so many years, which is saying na strike a couple 23 years meboa because 2002 the Basamri
2025
so because the 2026 Grand Prix and say 24 years later. Now it is not only about 2 countries that are hosting the World Cup, but a bima trima yene 3. Now the emergence on the stage say edru maybe ono ankasaba beje nyoma be chiachi amanfo akeka bibia no meka enyoma ba ko mienu miensa bia mede mani hui mamiji to me say it spoke to us about several things when it comes to this World Cup baso man is special. Now for bia beti asene che say sisi an World Cup no enye 32 teams biem. World Cup ni sisi enye 32 teams biem.
See a trim.
First, na nke World Cup na 32 teams no mo ba straight from the group ni be 2. No makwa kobo the round of 16 of the World Cup. Then the Ubia be film bia no film ko ne the quarterfinals, then to the semi-finals, then to the final of the World Cup.
Well, me banchawa no say Facebook for no challenging tea. Say mon check mo say yeah mo. Yeah. Say akaso images no as tag on it
okay.
Mon try na mon check him out.
Yeah. But so you look at the nations in the Canada is 48. 48 in achichemu into 12 groups.
Yeah.
Group we are move 4. Into 4 na woman no. First two will have automatic qualifications. Meaning say at the end of the day, Yababi now 24 teams that have qualified. For the first time, we'll have a round of 32 in the World Cup. Then before we come to the round of 16, it's a move kakra. So mom better so ted no more so was no. Yeah, you be near the biso abekau. Then we play from there, then we carry it on. Now for the Akwaku PMU with the quarter final and the semi final of the World Cup. na the enti America se misua ne oma bebre free enno ade na ekoso no mu ne yese one FIFA will be say on a more slogan be a kasa about unity. Say FIFA nya dia eyi ni pem. FIFA nya dia ejina bibimu. FIFA nya dia kasetia bibi fufro.
FIFA game a fair play.
A fair play. And it's also the obia a baboom ever together. So the first one I realized was the presence of black skinned colored people on the stage at the end of the day. It's been something I also for quite some time now. Say racism. FIFA nyamwe. And I say be yetimika so be adre, yetimika so be say. Then wako fancy be diaba. Now on the biggest stage where we are seeing in nipa over 7 billion. Etiwo show mu screens. Enjoy the draw of the World Cup. Amu biatin and waseno on the stage on the day of people who are supposed to be there to handle the draw. There is Rio Ferdinand, the skin color you say. There is Shaq O'Neal. Even before Shaq O'Neal, there is Kevin Hart in the midst of it. This was a World Cup draw that was dominated by black skinned people alongside white skinned people, just to send a clear message to the outside world to say, FIFA, we are fighting against racism, we don't entertain racism, and ubia okay ubia ni nipa said the wote and ya come boom. So you watch how Infantino she share ubia di ubia ba na obeti ase ehunu sa. First one. Number 2, yakoma Donald Trump esi FIFA Peace Award. Na nkawiase nyina ye kase nkomo type ntokwa kese pa ntokwa bia wo bom mo bi be kase US for ka wo, because just o man tese bibi wo baabi ombeko osisi enche bia na ehunu se Nigeria for kran US for ate omo won se so munnim no mu ko ombeba ho ntokwa ye mfre wo mo no no mdo mo hune di gym. But I think there's one thing that Infantino did us at that time. Yeah, the bebu nkompa akoyechi. No shade about how FIFA speaks about peace and believes that football is a tool to ensure there is peace in this world. This is not the first time I own a football there sumbiaba kurubiso. Ding a tribal war. When you wake on, it took the qualification to the World Cup for DJ Drogba to say no or bunko to be. They are more penny a day. Yama Muntimusumonia, the personia day. Am I? Obia de need to need be a to us and to cry in Yanya day. I have seen countries that are at a turmoil or more but because of qualification to a certain tournament. As we couldn't in Obia Bebako, Obia Bumobia Geneni. For example, when Sudan qualified for the African Cup of Nations. I'm talking about that moment. Kromobia or Kubia Jai Tutu, actually, almost I got in terms because it's only football that can do that. And say a lot of things. Now, we look at the Qatar 2022 World Cup, and you look at the mayor of Qatar, then you look at the Saudi prince, the Saudi king, this uncle from Penifoni no more. During that particular World Cup in 2022, there was a diplomatic tension between Qatar and Saudi Arabia. The reason being that Saudi Arabia did to me say Qatar ana air sponsor terrorism for more mutu more muskamo money or so mufan kunkuma man for and fan kuntokwa. Nemu mamo Saudi Arabia ne de almost so sanya mransem ne so. It is a diplomatic war no ne da Qatar and Saudi Arabian them. But it was at the World Cup ni who say the Emir of Qatar and then Saudi Arabia penimu pa at the same place shebo. Wow. Fantino akofo mu mienu nyina de omaba. Abetena sese mu behwe. Efiri woko na Qatar ne Saudi Arabia ntem ne Bahrain ne Kuwait ne sa diplomatic one ketenkete ni nyina start efiri. Nyoma so tutu kranka. And then okra say BA Middle East nani. MNA Saudi Arabia invested in their football so well to a certain extent say anya honkwa na esi ne mo makofa F1 aba Omakofa motor race naba. Omakofa box naba. Omakofa BM because FIFA the NBA for Friday. Abba. Now tapping into US market. The most powerful president in the world, Donald Trump. Now, this year, Donald Trump has been involved in a lot of mediations about peace talks. Let's not forget about the Rwanda DR Congo. DR Congo for GDSA and the Rwanda president, Paul Kagame. Eka who be na man for a soldier for your matrabo than a bar, no more be kunkum mofala. There is a peace mediation talks between Ukraine and Russia. One is not Fifi.
Same Trump. Also, I settle 8 wars. Or 9th one is on the way.
And 9th one is on the way. Politically, Fantino Naba, watching him. Now, this is a tournament that brings every single body together as one people. So, a true representative of what FIFA stands for, Capo, they stand for peace. And Team Common Donald Trump die. No, we no time award no be we say no de share ne sebema. Money yo, Mr. President, one boy Jumaje nefako. Sent a strong message to the outside world. That FIFA supports whatever Donald Trump is doing to make sure Asumdwe ebeba. Ne mom ni kro na ebebo ball no. Asumdwe so be di fata say obi obebe ya no be hunu se papa we obi a opa Asumdwe. Asumdwe so ba kro no mu a.
Donald Trump was doing it.
Like wonderful. Yeah, Asra, why you the Liba wafa the medal
and you make good tribunal.
I just love it. Now, yeah, DB. A Jimmy Sam Kaka. Because Kevin Hart Moody can buy a bit of Mokomuni Koyeno. And on Fantino Nankasabejina stage. Or buying of Fred Canadian Prime Minister. Or buying of Fred Mexico. Oman Penny. And was also Fred Donald Trump side in the bar stage beam. Now, audio mobile Bejina stage. Not be someone say, we are pass and your politics pa and I said G20 summit be. And I say, we are seeing in penny for Nakoshia pa. Him for pan avenue be so better Canada Prime Minister. No, a true Mexico president. No, a true USA president. No, mommy is saying now on one stage.
One stage.
There's only one thing that can do that, and football. And Gianni Infantino proved that. And your mommy is saying now, begin so. No, catching them penny for someone from Monsanum. Come on.
Very interesting.
That's a bomb. You see, at this moment in time, you see, this is where I believe whatever FIFA is doing, no, and football does to the outside world, no, a broad draining to so including other sporting activities. Now, at this moment in time, every single person has forgotten about security.
Yeah.
Obia referee how this moment on stage, everyone is smiling. Obia referee problems. Look at the smile on the face of the Prime Minister of Canada. Abra Obi Munene Canada. No apeja kosoro. Almost said that a honor to say Obia. You see why they did that? Near say one, they wanted them to feel as part of Nkofo mobile draw. No, said draw na ye babe no. We are part of it because we are host here. Canada, USA, Mexico.
Okay.
So how the draw will be done? Infantino needed to showcase it first before Ansano Mombeba so as a main draw.
Okay.
To let them feel part of it and be interested in the course of the draw. And be back with the World Cup. Let's invite them on stage. Give them an opportunity. Then when you're part of it.
And the ball, no,
and also before that, I was say Group A, Group B, Group C, and a USA, Canada, Mexico, Group A. Canada will Group B, USA will Group D. It's not doubt to say, oh, when I then buy. So to confirm all of these things, you know, says I'm about original. It's boss now the gumni now, none different balls. Boss
they are the same.
They are the same.
Okay.
It was Infantino at the point in time.
Okay.
Donald Trump yi first one be on the South firm more na do so be for us say can I take another? Also you can take another one. You can try.
Okay.
What I say
well when
it's just to open it up the idea of these three countries hosting the World Cup and how big it is. And the importance say deba. So ade be mo hu say ye pa na say Shalak betima sa video na to so share the light na asoso.
Okay.
E be bia na mo gina no. Or the video no to so say obia table na ogina ho no before that there were different lights.
Yeah.
Different lights ebe mo ate as representing what they were doing. It will share Mexico ma me ne de na color na green kakra.
Okay.
Mexican color is green wom.
Okay.
We hear USA the kakra there was a little bit of blue. Now where USA colors in terms of their flag are blue kakra wom. Then no check Canada there was red. Canada flag is also red kakra
wom. Yeah. Okay.
So that was the clear sign.
But Trump were too much.
What I say? Someone else.
Born now, I didn't know
no, I rehearse.
So,
I'm aware ball of
okay.
Almost balls and differently designed from
the other ones.
The USA president known him say ball no be Mexico flag down. Canada Prime Minister known him say ball be Canada flag down.
Okay.
Trump's known him.
Okay.
But he wanted to Trump.
Yeah. And you look at the smile on their faces.
Minister Infantino so prepared. And he was baby Infantino say, are you sure this is
wow.
Interesting. So everything that was done yesterday, well rehearsed, well planned and well executed. The last one before I go into the game, because Michael Besaba woke up in the morning. Yes. And the last one I would love to talk about here is Mike, how FIFA decided to incorporate every single popular sport in the US into the draw. Capo. He wants the world to come to a standstill when there is a World Cup. He wants other sporting fans to be interested in water or more air. Now he decides said draw na ye be no referred not bobo anameboa so bobo now he looks further to other options and wakofa Tom Brady now uko US now kofa the NFL the number of Super Bowler Tom Brady aje and how popular he is and then konfo more doma NFL Capo, it is a Tom Brady abegina stage so ba be World Cup draw. NFL fans and hwa na so be smartness.
Go back to a team bia followers be hu.
Then he decides to bring in Judge no ko baseball na. And then omo popular ba ko pa wo no. Baseball for be hwa na so mo hwe. Now no akofa Shaka no de na basketball. Shaka no be hwa na so mo hwe.
Watching.
There was an ice hockey champion as part of it. Ice hockey for be hwa na mo hwe. Capo, Infantino is too smart.
That's great.
He's too smart. So he has moved the World Cup to a different understanding. Be say, Krona and yebe hosti World Cup no ma yebe draw no. Enyam kura, omo pe soccer bebrebe. That's why soccer is popular. When you go to the US, sports are to be popular. Do na man for basketball, man for NFL. It's Kevin Hart. Crabbe Gina stage no didn't come on no, he knows his football players. It was about Jude Bellingham do about other players on Mutaba US, maybe Las Vegas or doing vacations, all of these things. So FIFA has tapped into the market of baseball, he has tapped into the market of ice hockey, we're tapping into the market of NFL. We're tapping into the market of basketball. All of this in conform more interest or all of these sporting activities doing and they were part of the draw. It would if you are umpo. Ubenya interest.
Be real. You love to watch.
Watch here.
Why do you
Samantha Johnson. Ellen Manning. Wayne Gretzky. Tom Brady. Aaron Judge. Shaq O'Neal. All of these guys have different jobs, different sporting aspects. And on your mobile now, we put 1, we put 2, we put 3. Basketball 40 film Shaka now. Baseball 40 fear. they will be looking at Aaron Judge. Ice hockey 40 feet, Wayne Gretzky. NFL 40 feet, Tom Brady. And they more money interest they are coming in. I did a gym and sem outside this. I share the video more boy before the draw explaining the draw. On person chess we are like to a crown out fear. You need to have an interest in what you are doing because they know in the American market and the world market in marketing kitchen no be obesi to be a person about basketball. Obi obesi to be a person about NFL. Now what they did near say explaining the draw omu use kitting. I'm a referred now to one uncle and draw the base. So look at how omu ye callous. Omu ye it's a crabby if you know mamia so TV. Na see ye walk up don't know who say we about TV so I will be motivated and answer as I would my
walk up.
Yes.
Now prepare for bra me pese walk up feeling no yenyan more na odi we know about we okay the one for chair o madwe nana kwame wasti say live for go so ye monitor mo ne anopi anafin so Filippo say I'm watching the show this morning. Filippo say we aboko there we Antoine Akon Hammond say Ghana and England tickets no 2,600 Canadian dollar o yake prepare sikapa okay on some no nana anani say volume no form okay at Albert Sam was a good morning Albert watching the show live from Takwa. Ghana will easily top the group cry okay yate yadamasifa Philip nana kwabna Sam say it's true but football cannot end any war. It's momentary okay and the messenger on also day abba boss Alexis said Trump will be like we want peace, accept peace or we will collapse your country. Okay and also the message on the abba sorry Ray World Cup
Capo made I say so America is welcoming the world to Omo territory for the 2026 FIFA showpiece. Nane here said the first formal event of the baby World Cup no. They will communicate in various ways that they are the footballing world. One of it is music, true music. One football nenyum tour Omo yase. Okay. Music has a soul. So music never dies. Football has a soul and a spirit and it never dies. Okay. And to be so onyum to omwa. Ni akayechis okay way. So music can take you back to remind you about certain occurrences very important or special or significant in the subject or the character's life. Okay. The same applies to football. BBC ni akayechi ampa. We are discussing Mexico, South Africa. Is it coincidence? How did this happen? Okay, so 2010 Africa hosting the first World Cup. The other thing was a game between South Africa and then Mexico on the 11th of June 2010. Then 11th of June 2026 Mexico will welcome South Africa and then host them in the opening game of World Cup 2026. South Africa hosted at their most iconic football stadium. Mexico will host it at their most iconic football stadium. Soon be the ball so it merited say on a day like this the nyom tour at the bell welcome the world to USA, Mexico and then Canada. But the significant thing is Nipa no be no. Andrea Bocelli, he's not American, he's Italian. Na Italy, US for your madie, Mexico your madie, na Canada your madie, na Italy nini tone suffering say the opening a year song to welcome everybody to the World Cup draw 2026. Before that, na Bocelli is share Ancelotti ni ne din komo and symbolic in a way. Bocelli ne music career a kickstart a drew Nesropano from 94 deba. Although he was discovered from 1992. Okay. But 94 ne kickstart the same applies to Carlo Ancelotti. So the Ancelotti so Ancelotti's coaching career started with Arrigo Sacchi and the Italian national team in 92, but it gained prominence in 94 when Italy made the World Cup. Omoko drew final and they lost via penalty shootout to Brazil. And Ancelotti near Brazil, Omo head coach. He's come to Italian soil. Baby, ne career ne chance, but it started with disappointment because Italy lost the World Cup. And then Ancelotti, after that spell, went to start with the Serie B side and San Ode Frosro, Abba Juventus, Moni AC Milan, Mo Abba Bekochi. So you get the picture. Yeah. It began for Ancelotti in 94 with disappointment. He has come back to that soil. Then he met his fellow countryman, Andrea Bocelli. Strikingly, once a Bocelli, Adiesheneni. So on the picture, not to Subiwa. Okay. Once a Osher Space. The picture with Ancelotti, Osher Space. Anywhere you see Bocelli, Osher Space. Who's Adiana? What does he say? Who will be so I say Adenachre? Shederia will see Kitabo him and the grip. Exactly. He's totally blind. Okay. Like Stevie Wonder, Andrea Bocelli is blind. The story is remarkable. Wow. Nema menyem no. Doctors need treatment in Rome the man it affected the child. So it was discovered he will be born with congenital glaucoma. Which could affect him in future, leading to a full blindness and a total blindness. I will go ahead and birth this boy. So Bocelli was born with a partial blindness, that congenital glaucoma condition. Then at the age of 12, no pebo aside music ball. No moko bobo, so a football accident obi bobo na bo ne bonini ba ko ne hu na de no na and also affected and they call off. So from 12 years he has not seen a color or seen anybody again. From the age of 12. But the remarkable thing is a Bocelli the Ako school we call law school a graduate a practice 1 year as a court assistant lawyer. And son will decide say he won't pursue law again. He will pursue music. Music, no, he's a tenor. Once a choral music, yeah, you were soprano, you were alto, you were tenor, you were bass. Good. Or no, you're tenor. And basically, what he's done is that he's mastered his craft enough that even the kukudama they respect, they revere the talent that this guy has, and then the voice alone. Almost say otenenena akoma. So ohuna the football franeni, but on the biggest football stage, the DBA World Cup, historic. This is the first time 3 countries will host a World Cup tournament. The man whose condition was caused by a football accident has come to welcome the rest of the world to America. So the picture of Ancelotti ne Bocelli no is symbolic in the manner that Ancelotti US he suffered disappointment and heartbreak. He will be returning in June. Or in the story in Yenyan Troy. Will it be a success for Ancelotti? Anna Bocelli no football the fran and the cry will not debut. And he's here to welcome the rest of the world to the US. But there are symbolic aspects around it. Bocelli was 1992. There was this Italian pop artist, a friend Zucchero. Okay. Once Ayana ye artists no more around, no more that test to say, oh, ebi or numbi na obe pese artist be feature into some one trend and saying TikTok, yes, demo. Tuba no be recorded there. So Zucchero had a song. But no person feature one of the greatest Italian singers, or also tenor, Luciano Pavarotti. No person feature no. Into a send you be to be in your demo tape, then trend like Enco viral, so that a bit draw the attention of Pavarotti, and then he will feature on that song. Obia recorded and Andrea Bocelli recorded that song. Interestingly, Zucchero presented demo tape of Andrea Bocelli to Pavarotti. Pavarotti ne da so no tie no where Zucchero ni o tie no say no remember mu recording mu bio mu use boy we there no yes that was Pavarotti's recommendation obiani baby and carry sha see free obi do one dance here kire we no Pavarotti tie ne nyom rendition na why of Zucchero song no or say Zucchero that's a way the old boy way there why use we no into only boy name recording man recording me bio because this boy is a star.
Wow.
And that paved the beginning of greater heights for Andrea Bocelli in music. Now, Ohunu Pavarotti say, I dare know your man, and they be a quite to man. So he has been his idol and icon until the death of Pavarotti. Now, and no man Bocelli betoye, Nessun Dorma, which means none shall sleep or let no one sleep. Related to one of those operas. The story is told of Princess Tundarot. Tundarot ne a very beautiful princess but also cold-hearted.
Okay.
Na bema wo pesa wo ware Princess Tundarot no. Ye were 3 riddles I was so we no. So wutia princess ne be odase ye ntwa uti ne 7 fama no. Wow. We need there if you're able to get all the 3 riddles correct, you will marry the princess. So one unknown prince, your friend Calafat came. Then Calafat ne ena air to Nessun Dorma no Ovio ka Vincero, which is victory win.
Yeah.
Just say Wontumi solve riddles no. So he won over the princess Tundarot and married her. And that is the story of that opera. Nessun Dorma ne the final piece ayeto and the theater no. And it ends with Vincero. It has become symbolic, but how did it come into football? Luciano Pavarotti, Andrea Bocelli ne idol no on the chassis in 1990 when they hosted World Cup no it was Italy.
Yeah,
good. Italy hosted World Cup no on the eve of the final between Argentina and West Germany. Omoye concert be Rome. Pavarotti performed Nessun Dorma to the footballing world, and this was the first time a world documented say Nessun Dorma has been auditioned to the football global audience. Wow. And Obia fell in love, and FIFA so many no me say Sadia ye pay encore. So when USA hosted 1994 World Cup, Pavarotti came this time around, and there were other tenors. One, Placido Domingo Jose Carreras. Then they performed the Nessun Dorma in the 3-tenor concert. Then FIFA requested an encore beyond the last time in 2002 Japan Korea. So Pavarotti had popularized Nessun Dorma to the football global audience from 1990, 1994, 2002. So and your first timer you perform way a football event as in especially involving the World Cup. Yeah. Now Andrea Bocelli also brought Nessun Dorma to the footballing audience in his own way. Leicester City J, the Premier League in 2016. No, Fred Claudio Ranieri said, Adia Maye, let no one sleep on Leicester's title win. Sadia, or Bepeso or performing our Leicester's Premier League title coronation. Until there are videos who call YouTuber Leicester, Andrea Bocelli, just Google video no. So he came to sing at the King Power Stadium just to signal Leicester City's win. But this is the first time Bocelli a global football audience are auto Nessun Dorma na momo. Who did this and how did this become possible? Donald Trump.
Okay.
Donald Trump is one known for his affection for opera and theater. And then the favorite song so yeah Nessun Dorma. Now Trump used when it campaigns because of the words it carry, and then the last word now became Vincero, which means win. 2016 Trump campaign, Nessun Dorma was the theme song. He has used it in several other political rallies or on one private initiative. And after this event, Trump here some small gathering be at the White House. So some more performance Andrea Bocelli performance.
Yeah.
So on the video bit to who said Trump and then the FIFA president Gianni Infantino were clapping or applauding Andrea Bocelli. In fact, he got an ovation. Performing here, Obia's original and also born in same or Monte Italian, or more Monte Latin, or more Monte Necasa no Cano, but they were moved by the music because music is universal.
Yeah.
Obia That's original and also. And no more no. Ebi can Chinese, ebi can Korean, ebi can Japanese, ebi can French, ebi can English, Spanish, Portuguese. Omuni nas original, omunaso bo omunsem de momo. And that is the power of music. But again, it's the power of football. I don't know when you music unite, football also unite, and that is a symbolic thing about Andrea Bocelli's performance to welcome the rest of the world. America World Cup, no, and not just a sport; it is entertainment. So they are fusing entertainment with the sport, not just sportainment. And this was the grand opening to let people become aware of what the USA intends to do regarding the World Cup 2026. It was remarkable. Wow. And that's the story of how come Andrea Bocelli be PMU aha Amasadi so etimia course. Away from that, to various storylines around the World Cup and our football tournament be there until there is a script to sell and storylines or narratives to push it. So Alpha Group into Sonia here. I don't know how they do this, but means football no. Sani see pair teams near here and yakwa. Baby yeah, baby home.
Who say
any ordinary baby home. Baby home. Okay. So Group A, Mexico, South Korea, Republic of Korea, and then the winner of playoff D. Yeah. Good. The symbolic way a woman Group A, Mexico, and then South Africa. Yeah. I've already mentioned it. Okay, no. 2010 they opened the World Cup. 2026 they will open the World Cup. Roles never reverse. South Africa were the host in 2010 and they welcomed Mexico. Yeah. Now Mexico is the host in 2026. They are welcoming South Africa. South Africa independence by year being.
19
from the early 90s. 94 94 America no host the World Cup good. South Africa won their first AFCON in 1996. 2026 now how many years?
96 20 years.
I say bro
96 to 2026 anywhere you 30
exactly 30 years. Yeah. So South Africa are making such an appearance. It will commemorate something. Okay. But the most significant part here, Omudi B World Cup nano. Group B, Canada, Qatar, Switzerland. Okay. Why not hosted the last World Cup before this one? 2022. Yeah. Canada, baby. It was Canada's first World Cup appearance since 1986. Qatar welcomed Canada. Amo returned to the world stage. Okay, a way to say thank you. Yaba Qatar no mo jeje so mo ma ye ni kan e mo na mo ma akonya ne bai say yeso yembebo World Cup ni bion in 2022 after our last appearance was in 1986. Sadia and the Qatar so mo mra Canada sa so mo mehwe de yeso ye wo. Okay. Group C. Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Okay. Can we repeat 1998? Yes, possible, but yeah, in a pepe into Bakube frame. So Haiti replaces Norway. But for Scotland, Morocco, Brazil, they were in the same group in 1998 FIFA World Cup. Brazil or Scotland, Brazil or Morocco. They are in the same group in this World Cup 2026. In group Menkwaye Fakra D. Meskepe Group D. No. Okay. Mamenko, there is this interesting storyline to tell, and it involves where is it? Okay, France, Senegal. There's so France, yeah. No. So I won't want to bore anybody with Sankomono, but I want this one: Austria, Algeria, Group J. Okay. 1992. Dear MRCC in your World Cup group stage matches, young Bonnie at the same time. A development in 1982 triggered the conversation, and yes, Shemukina in the same tournament and in subsequent tournaments. So FIFA yes Sadia, your World Cup group stage no match you be born the last and you be Bonnie at the same time. What happened in 82? French foreign friend DB Le Match de la Honte, the match of shame. It has been tagged as the shame of Gijon. Algeria are then beating Germany. But Algeria to me and share Austria. But they won their last game. And they had very good point and a good chance to qualify. Then Austria and Germany, they also had similar point to Algeria there, but Germany needed to win the last game, no? And they did their calculations. If Germany wins by 1-0, then Germany and Austria will qualify. Now Algeria free. Algeria played their final group game a day before Germany and Austria, bebo. Now Germany for your first half 1-0. Algeria for him say born the mobile should be because any result apart from 1-0, no, it will qualify Algeria. Second half, Germany for your boy no kukwasa. Austria for your ya show back. So I told you crash a funny. And the world watched such horror as Germany and Austria perceived a match manipulation or more ball saw 1-0 result in the Algeria frame. The shame of Gijon when Spain hosted the tournament. Algeria are here for revenge. Austria for neighbor. I am more and a moody and the Yeshia Mudia, the Ebanoso Ewomo. Then there is a story of England Ghana never meeting at any major tournament at senior level. The only game I have a friendly game. Exactly. So like France faced Senegal, Ghana had never played England, but for 2026 that will be possible. And these are the storylines the World Cup will be sold on. There are more, but in America. And so at the actual, so you would have to appreciate all these angles and know so football no and baby team something influences the game, whether a spiritual, whether a metaphysical, I can't give an answer to, but men share born a trasa and ya dear adrene any day near who etiasie, it goes beyond that. It is that deep. And like music, football's language is universal. Say a tour even if we don't understand the lyrics, we don't understand the dynamics of this draw. But obiadiatum, and everybody is excited and eagerly anticipating the World Cup never started. Sana nyom sotie. We don't understand the lyrics of Andrea Bocelli's song. Okay. But we were moved by the melody, and it united not just those at the Kennedy Arts Center, but also those who were watching across the world. Yeah. Football and music together.
Well, thank you very much. Interesting story around the world of sports. We a World Cup sector and what they Amaya say and easy cry. Now Yabayan prediction for you can say the day that's the Super 8 or league in so on team. You very remana wa me din komo kakra Super 8 num na ya Miza brain na.
Yes,
Super 8.
So we are done with the World Cup.
Yeah, leagues.
Okay, so quickly, I think the Super 8 will definitely start from France, where Paris Saint-Germain the betting na waboni home game against Stade Rennais. I think in context for that particular game, you need to look at midweek games on Bebo, especially when there is a Champions League. Yeah. Dependent on the position on the Champions League table, we always determine the kind of quality or they come into our game against Stade Rennais. Yeah. Now, over Paris Saint-Germain, their next game in the Champions League, they'll be traveling away to Bilbao. So we don't take the risk of making sure say omone Bilbao no nyoma enkoye basa enfamo omkrampona omudi how. Now o check it on the Champions League log now. Out of possible 15 points, Paris Saint-Germain kutamu 12. So the opportunity to qualify no. So this weekend they will go full force against Stade Rennais, and they are going to start all their key players in making sure say Omonsa Bitimaka results are and also Omonsa Timika. In the last 5 games between Paris Saint-Germain and Stade Rennais, Paris Saint-Germain 3-1, Paris Saint-Germain Rennais 1-1, Paris Saint-Germain 1-0, Paris Saint-Germain 3-1, Paris Saint-Germain 4-1. But Ocheke Rennais, the last 5 games are wabwa against Toulouse 2-2, against Strasbourg 4-1, against Paris FC wakwashene 1-0, against Monaco washene 4-1, and what took wakwashene Metz by 1-0. They are unbeaten in their last 5 games in the French League A. Now you look at Paris Saint-Germain, Omalusu were the Champions League intermittently the Ababeshim, but in the league let's not forget say weekend they try we lose to Monaco by 1-0.
Yeah.
But they have a good record, especially against certain teams in the league, and they remain unbeaten in the league at home. They've only lost one game in the last 10 games, which was a loss against FC Bayern Munich by 2-1. Now you look at Rennes and their form away. They remain unbeaten in their last 5 away games. 1-1 against Angers, 2-2 against Nantes, 2-2 against Le Havre, 2-2 against Toulouse, 1-0 against Paris FC, 1-0 against Metz. But all of these teams ain't do the level of Paris Saint-Germain. Meko for Paris Saint-Germain straight win in this particular game.
Okay.
Anytime goal scorer, Metimi Ashe will be to say Kivicha Kvaratskhelia for Paris Saint-Germain. And I need there's a scoring Vitinha in this particular team. Utimi Fabo anytime. No akopre Eddie Atonet. Now to the Bundesliga, there will be Bayer Leverkusen against Augsburg. I'll cancel that game. Okay. But there is Bayern Munich against Stuttgart. Now Stuttgart is a team bakwa in the league. Omushe goes pa. Now Ocheki in the league now almost 21 goals in 12 matches. O striker that means he's in around 1.30, 1.40 per every single game. Okay. So hardly do you see Stuttgart go into a game without accumulating points. 22 points, almost also sit on the league log. Now the gap between them and FC Bayern Munich, we are 34, now to 22 free. You're talking about 12 solid points. Difference between the two teams. But it doesn't mean Stuttgart ain't competitive when it comes to such games. Now you look at the last 5 games between Bayern Munich and Stuttgart. Bayern Munich 3-0, Stuttgart 3-1, Bayern Munich 4-0, Bayern Munich 3-1, Bayern Munich 2-1. In the last 5 games, Stuttgart are winning back. But at the back, evident in their last 5 games, so almost games and produce draw.
Okay.
Almost games and produce draw.
There
back. And almost games to produce goals, baby. Because so check it here 3-0, 3-1, 4-0, 3-1, 2-1. So your first choice should be about the total number of goals that will come into this particular encounter between Stuttgart and the Bayern Munich.
Wow.
It will be over 2.5 and over 1.5 for your safe bet between these two. Name open the back one and set me out to be so pana. Ka Bayern Munich inside there. So. But Stuttgart will fear na few way to say. Ocheki Stuttgart in their last few home games on my bar. Capo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last 8 home games was in na. What the year 10 last 10 home games were lose 2, were winning 8. Now the 2 losses in the Betia wine. A Europa League, Bologna na be share 1-0.
Okay.
And the same Bayern Munich na be share 2-1 wo fie.
Wow.
Nemum every one corner. Washa Mönchengladbach 1-0. Washa St. Pauli 2-0. Washa Celta Vigo 2-1. Washa Augsburg 2-0. Washa Heidenheim 1-0. Washa Mainz 2-1. Washa Feyenoord 2-0. And Washa Augsburg 3-2. Nyina na efie no wanye kra no oshegu. Now for Bayern Munich away this season in the Bundesliga. Nemum ocheki Bayern Munich mu anankasa na in the last 10 away games awabono Capo emu and Wontumi amfa win. A draw 2-2 against Union Berlin, then a 3-1 loss against Arsenal. Ba ko pe na Bundesliga. Dia kan na Bayern Munich kwa no about no abashe. It is for the safest option. I've told you that this game produces a lot of goals. Just maybe 2-1, 3-1, 2-0. It will be over 2.5. But for risky, definitely Stuttgart beat me go the TFC Bayern Munich.
There's a both team to score. There will be a okay.
Anytime goal scorer, make sure be to say Harry Kane. Anytime goal scorer, make sure be to say Harry Kane for Bayern Munich. But just maybe will be to say Luis Diaz, but don't forget and don't sleep on Dennis Undav.
Okay, was the last one.
So that is the option for that. Now Borussia Dortmund will be playing at home against Hoffenheim. Now for Dortmund, as I bought now for 4 pounds or more to be another boy for more some more bomb film because I'm putting BBR anytime. Now you look at Dortmund quietly and you understand say on the league log no or more yama how an amount for success and compete this season no adrenaline yasisa because social RB Leipzig any looking in pole position say omoni betima compete by America compete oboye. Now we check league log now 25 points far away from FC by Munich, but you relish the opportunity to close in the gap or make sure say at least the Champions League places you'll be there. Because so sure more time na Hoffenheim so be this season who underrated Hoffenheim so because Capo the difference between Hoffenheim and the Borussia Dortmund league table no see 2 points. 2 points in a separate or more. In terms of home form, Dortmund and Kafie could be a determination more than was row. But out of possible 15 points, Borussia Dortmund could tamu 11, scoring 9 goals, conceding 4. But Hoffenheim so on the league log no, Omuna had the best away side.
Yeah.
Out of possible 18 points were away, Hoffenheim could tamu 14. It is this season we Bundesliga nim no. Ye check it team away no. Onim Bopana, enya Bayern Munich, enya RB Leipzig, enya Borussia Dortmund, nem Hoffenheim. Iti Emma Dortmund who any omu game no bibi o kakra. But the last 5 games between these two sides, Dortmund 3-1, Dortmund 1-0, Hoffenheim 3-2, Dortmund 1-1, Dortmund 3-2. But Hoffenheim any Dortmund eboa their games are on my boy mu be 80% no Hoffenheim nya go yede Efrim
tell you got to say
safe for you corner goals over 1.5 because mu games ni nyina na 1-1 3-1 2-1 3-2 a type pp risky with mama Hoffenheim over 0.5 in this game. Anytime goes Krameko for sale Gurasi in this particular encounter. Mama 3. Now to the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona will be playing against Real Betis. And the Barca games in Adebako I was the show trim straightness. I won't stress about it. Yes, it produces more goals. Last time I heard Barca game ended 1-0 that way. Oh, what I say?
Yeah.
Even when Barcelona is losing and I will draw, we lose 2-1. And maybe a 3-2. And also, or 2-1.
Yeah.
No, I said 3-2. 1 goal difference. No, they are called. So Barcelona has become a team that scores a lot of goals. So when it comes to Barcelona, when it comes to Barcelona's games, there definitely over 2.5 or even Barcelona to score over 1.5 goals. You clearly say it. But Real Betis remains a tricky game. But in the absence of Isco, I think Antonio Cra returning from injury, I will also buy into the setup.
Yeah.
But I think for these two teams, the safe option to go is to go for goals in this regard.
Goals in this game.
Yes. Anytime goals cry, may opt for with Robert Lewandowski.
Okay.
For FC Barcelona. So Obetima BBO. Now there's going to be Real Madrid against Celta Vigo.
Yeah.
I'll be very quick because when I'm feeling semi-brinaka.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid Celta Vigo, I think Real Madrid at home. Real Madrid are quite dicey kakra, but one team omo tight team show mo kese pa Celta Vigo. Real Madrid team tia Celta Vigo. So I'll go with Real Madrid winning that particular game, and I'll go for Kylian Mbappe. Say Obetime and a good results. Now there's the brothers derby between Atletico Madrid and Bilbao, but for that game, I think we'll come and explain a lot of things later on. But Enonenka Super 8, and also I've given you 5. Okay. Now for the Italian Serie A, there's going to be Napoli versus Juventus. I didn't say since 2020, Juventus in team Kosia Napoli or Napoli fee.
Since 2020,
yes. Omo knock on the door, sir. In fact, omo boom sa in team be. But Napoli now, oh yeah, no assassin sign hadri. Because Otimi will be behind the passer. Because that win against Roma was a statement win. Every time I say a statement win, no? Because in the league, no more pray for league title no as that week, no, Roma in Inter Milan. I know Roma war Stadio Olimpico 1-0. And I think they have enough firepower. A double chance for Napoli.
Double chance.
A double chance for Napoli. Yes, Spalletti na ekwo there. Juventus Igbo game there. Kenan Yildiz is in the form of his life.
Yeah.
But I think these are big games Antonio Conte will relish. A double chance for Napoli. And I'm to mark over 1.5 between these two teams. Say maybe 2-1, 1-1 between these two sides. Anytime goal scorer in this game, Mary Scott McTominay has big games. Roma Bekwa away. Roma remains the best away side in the Italian Serie A. Remember Roma double chance in that particular game. Mama 7. Then there's only one I'm the better touch when it comes to the English Premier League, which I actually believe is there's going to be a big game between Leeds United and Liverpool at the end of the day. Liverpool games are and to be producing goals, so that game I'll opt for over 1.5 in that particular game, or Liverpool to concede. Leeds United be sure more maybe over 0.5. I'm not saying Leeds United will win the game, but definitely Liverpool are prone to conceding, and I'm sure they will at Leeds United City Bona. It's a risky thing you can take.
Leeds United for no more for them.
So be over 0.5, but the overall game will produce enough goals.
Okay. Well, I want some no about time we na fi emre na ya mehwe because some will feel pa
ntini say definitely we are once a work up na nkasa na nhwe Ghana group na nkasa.
Yes, nti e ba nti oro wi ana maba na ma be Ghana ho so komo pa. Oze your time your time
me kwa brankes
sa okay we gaga dubu kwa so amotu
there is a certain I don't want there is a certain member nyabetre your trend beer that I see your World Cup groups so who prediction am the only country I missed was Croatia for South Korea. Maybe South Korea because me permutations, there were the simple way near 5 the Obatanyaba near 5 share a former world champion. The likely will see a share 2 European countries, one team from the Americas and then one team from Asia. Into Shemua probabilities are net here. So I had to choose between 2 European countries or one team from Asia. But the name consistent when we see a Americas because now there will be more participants from the CONCACAF region. US are qualified, Canada are qualified, Mexico are qualified, and then 3 more, and potentially there could even be 2. So there's a mathematical reasoning behind prediction so munya the two and kame pepa and Panama was the option I went for and not US anyway because baby a US ne Mexico ne Canada one it was difficult see a beko ye schedule na sesa na likely say one African country bedi kan alcohol and sakwa ne report 4 Ghana one
okay
so it was easier for an African country to slot into US anyway group no. So I knew Panama was an option for us, and I choose Panama. Then England, Maka former world champions. Baby, other groups na kwa kodi anything any city no. We need another storyline that is different, and England looked like a faster storyline of Pepe, and they by shape say oh no. I think a Ghana-England sells on American soil.
Wow.
Yes. And the voice of the people there. The
voice of God.
Ghana followed one eye before the draw. England for Nagasa no mudi didn't come. Then again, on the eve of the draw, okay, so I'm saying Ghana and Black Queens, England and Managerial.
Yeah.
So it's not a bond, England and Ghana. Then Korea because of Asia, and then Ghana per repetition. Asia country where I likely said the next World Cup Asia. So 2010 Germany, 2014 Germany, 2014 Portugal, 2022 Portugal. So they were trending city and yes, South Korea 2022. How about 2026?
South Korea
for me. Exactly. If I start with the 2
European
countries. No can one Kama Kate Manko.
Ose.
Kamo Manko.
Oh, they recent I draw. Yeah. Tonight studio.
Ghana for say Argentina ye family dinner kuku board penina kwaku tina World Cup dress.
No, a Black Star Management Committee member.
The state of the person inti the audie and enibre aha ye no na kasa mo.
So more concern
exactly. But nipa ni role no
Randy
or Coco board and then or GFES school or Blasters Management Committee. So quite falls in line. But be him and I have bonfires also bet me drew sa na mo na nasa level now also what menya sa akwenya we bi aya na efe so obi benya obi kwa mema ne nya o ya men fe ni bre ni we nkasa aya atene o ma say stages in life.
Sure,
you get the point.
Sure.
There was this incident. Obi a no or TV and him say such an event say or TV echi and obon in same. The next 8 years no jina why bi muso TV na chi bomb nsema sale abrabonity nti obata nti ka say ya baba June 2026 we also over US now friend
any no crepa life, that's our life. Insanity.
Oh yeah
wait my bem so do say bem abamuka
I'm say obata mo say so munya face easy cry
woko
look asare bodu ko tino no ko cabrofo I'm say ankwasi asempi okọ Oba time ko round nya broni ni hwe ni ma wa man ni
ko 5 years ni dey also give mam na me ko because America we dey bla
ma ko abra dey
oh say wa we ha
me
kwa po you
yezu efa
okay.
Yanko.
Okay. Now Solak natural clinic sianka and French Ghana for na say free screening no and also egusanes ekos ene ya ana de tennis adwumadi no and also etimi awie na me pacho say the card to anim say oba test bi ebera na ediama no me no kasa se test awodo enkonfo enso etimi run enso etimi off me sa na se ne adeso ko bo chance one ma obi enso etimi ne test ama bians etwork ma unyanko ya no nsia ana me pa charge medie no ana enso be traba na ye ntise bia ebane se uju so twamu no ana nyama otiti tipen bi eho sanso ana prostate scan ana peso ya niyan ombe ne kama edia ma fe ema no muum scan nyan almost eye ne kama ana enso atira tifani chem Solak natural clinic sesia ana peso wo fiade ana se obefre na onso do anya chem enso etiwa bia ya jumadien ekos 0245616028 ana penifo enso etima kasaruta natural product ne just way ruta mixture na emi de bia me catch se eyadura eku malaria enso area free nipadua ne mo amanto chano enso etima kwe ediama eno achiruta live no so makande a cho se ebeboa na mpo moja na ensakulati no eno enso etima sakulati na bo ma system no so etima jabrane aferuta tone kra bo na 2 typhoid fever na say and also etimi ediama sanse typhoid aya dia etimi kunipa etwe kunipa eko ansia do ntiko na okokopi baabi eto aduro bia akwa won sabeka ruta natural product bi 0244485638 na so no enso etimi abonkomo agan no eto sen onse agan no kapo okonkremu a eya jan o nkanfo no fe na jan na ya agan no ha na so person so to sen se ajan a misrawada cement fighter eba mixture and capsules agan anam patron so babubo na bibia etwa ko so tin o to asintina twetwetwo siatica air how we 2 minutes we say we share one ensa say bra 2 no odwe se bia ma France be patron misrawada 2 minutes na sam anoban air catcher tiko na ko cement fighter eba mixture and capsules and bibia etimnya kama enfama afa se bia premature ejaculation and etetewa and so etu asedeku and enso atida bibia to drobia kwa we sounds ebetra kabi 0240616061 now so them penny for some etma bonkomo proslav sm cancer say wo bo market now sweater allergy proslav capsules nibi wo johnson 10 tem anajo wo johnson otia ewo wo johnson ne muacha proslav capsules anababo and what true man capsules me say what I me ewo mpem premature ejaculation and attitude sisi ayo ya true man ababo Congo ointment coach as no dura and about say be udari a na ona say udwi wo saa obi won so candidates and na winner bi anoma be tuo se deku adiama me so natural company limited from kasa na ma tu foche son say wo ana dia do enso ati dia ba 0249017101 and so etimakasi yen say some na say MFF World Cup draw. Yabubo group no so and so to that one say Omaya Ghana yakwakoshia and so etima World Cup and etima toja. Na enum no ana Ministry of Youth and Sports na Capo. Unim say ene ana FIFA ankasa eye be matches na ebeba so no. Ene bia obebo no. Afe na FIFA for be. Nemum Ghana for there. Yatena ya ministry no ayo modie okay ti rank e dey to so ma obo say the ministry no enso say ayo modie enie ministry ni dey na o ma ye ninie omodie ni say 27th of June e wukwada 2026 e wukwada Ghana ne Panama game no Dallas US but onso omodie US na be so ha afei
ministry
of sports and recreation onso that so na Tuesday 23rd of June 2026 England Ghana and also Toronto Canada what you say enti ono ye ana se ko be se ya so a ye game against Croatia and so Philadelphia and also Infa US
3 matches
no 3 matches no ba ko pe na e be ko Canada we ministry ni dia we by FIFA enti said me trase no
ati chechemu ye ni wo say we ministry
ni dia we ministry ni dia
o no a select baby o meko anase say
ministry
mahu aha say FIFA dia na FIFA dia na mai okay
eti we ministry ni dia mpanifo trase e wu say o me say that ko kaka bonkutu na o hwe preteta krema ha ana Ghana e bebobo e matches no it we ministry ni there na enum no ana mpanifo webre adi won komo a tese bedi won komo kakada cho Ghana yen coach coach Oto Ado ye di komo enem san say ye said so far England Panama Croatia Ghana and your group na say na papa group no say no so ebe top group yen tie seba or the tuja.
Yeah, so I think it's not intelligent to think about these kind of situations. If it's the case and we still qualify even though we're third, and it's fine, but surely we take it match by match. We want to win every match, this is for sure. And like I said, once we get a good start, then anything is possible. On a good day, I know we can beat everyone, but I know also we can lose against all of those teams, also Panama, if we underrate them. So we have to be prepared well, and we will prepare ourselves well. We will study the last games of each on every team, and we see we take a closer look on their strengths, but also their weaknesses, and try to prepare as fast as possible. Yeah, so I think
Timia kakra efo panya ne din enso so edi coach Oto Ado na catch enso timi da ba no se group no so games na ewom ni na no e was really every match bia se na be ya you be to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Coach Oto Ado.
To be honest, I'm happy, especially for our fans in the east coast of the USA, that they will be able to see us. So for this, I'm very, very happy, and I think especially if we have a good start against Panama, from there we can continue to maybe from another perspective, or from England perspective, or Croatia perspective, to do one or two surprises. It's a tough group, but
yes, I know. Answer to your coach Oto Ado na this answer me, and also Atimida to the baby jet Asamoah Gyan, and so the Komoka Kanye besides a drone and yaba. She said the Obia and the Wanim that the Okrade, we are legend Admiral Black Stars of Ghana and Pogana. Now draw no one is also a tricky draw when a tricky pa yentie openya fan Asamoah Gyan.
When you look at that group, do you think the Black Stars are going to make it to the knockout stages?
Well, I think it's a very tricky group right now, and all the 4 teams wants to qualify, and definitely we are optimistic back home. Everybody back home wants Ghana to qualify, so we'll do our possible best to qualify to the next stage.
When you look at that,
Nessa no answer to me kakra baby jata Samuel Jai. One answer to that to the spokesperson. Answer the Ghana Football Association Mr. Henry Asante Chuma no so di komo kakra e da fadro ebisa no say baby ayakoni o ya ni England for na go Croatia voted task
4. And then in the last European Championship as well, they've been to the last 4. So they are quite strong. They have a very good team now managed by Thomas Tuchel. Interesting squad they have at their disposal, lots of talent. And we will be matching up against one of the best teams, like I said. Once again, we are going to meet one of
Nessa no answer to Mr. Hart and other Sansam no and also to Mr. Anthony Buffo one also a former player Black Stars your Bobida cause Anra Jenya game a team to University of Ghana Lagona me part of football club of friend Tachiman 11 wonders etenase Emma Rundolph Junior Mensa ekobo 2 goals Adama Swedo All Blacks woman answer win this game na Emma Bibia kama na ranking mamen share Nessa Rundolph go no first goal akwadanu answer to Capo go na akwadanu say ni so be a pass ni free akoye na also control any composer to turn boase change defender we oh Joseph Bambayo peja ball no na dam so go akwadanu say no anya go ketwa entiane akakra from enso team ediaba na ene game ba ko enso team abrankase Nations FC etnafie wo mo ebo ediatia na say Heart of Lions enum game anas etima toja and then nyame bo ochna games out to enso baba so yaba ya the more update enso baba ya tie for namum wunim sa Kumasi Asante Kotoko travel to Ahoy na Omni United enso to akakaba 3:30 nyame ebo anas Sunday sa game no and enso to the FC Samates ebo bibiani Gold Stars so and a dreams Bob United a vision boy young apostles Mediama Bo Ebrokum Chelsea Diana and Basakoli Stars and Africa United Bo has a folk and so actually Mama Sports Stadium coach Abdul Karim Zito coach and Macrobia Sante Kotoko the Bisana Bawa United game no and as I say teams na omaba no afei no body ati o ma qualifier o me new entry ya omaba
the game so we are ready for the game. We will go. Omar, it's normal with every club that comes to the league when playing Kotoko. So we are going. We never underrate anybody. Moreover, we are playing on unfamiliar pitch. I'm talking about the AstroTurf. We are not used to that, but it doesn't matter where. At least we went to Wara, we play on it, we were able to win.
And I'm sure to a my buyer don't some here for now. William Sabrekum Chelsea answer to a club. Ya fan media man almost the cock officer, and so etimotakwa, Nampatian Fantuta, a fair for Ibrahim Tanko, Anafe, Nana Kofi Babel, woman Anna a GM Ekasadma Timno, ahead of gamer, almost a cockabona, where Ebrekum Chelsea assistant coach, ya fan and Kroma, na Nkroma answer the Komo ahead of Omugame Mukakabo, Ediatia Club and Mediama.
Home match there is a saving at Tortich, airport, Takana. You see, it's easy because it's only a leaders, and I'm maintaining first position. And I see you're in the so you're about points, so it won't be easy match. As I said, more.
So Payina, your funny Ibrahim Tanko, near the no Kamakakra, what I'm asking Kofi Aya Babel, and you come ahead of that gamer, what must ever be in Tiesama, or the Tuja.
I mean, and the approach is the same like any other game. We are playing home, we want to control the game, we want to create more chances to score goals. So there is nothing new. We knew that and they are the ones who beat us here the last year. So definitely we are going to prepare well for them and we need the 3 points, of course.
You better your best and this time you better try say you bring out the maximum point.
Well, last message to the supporters.
The American German so mum brat said they buy every time no. Criticize energy, you per se atmosphere na any difficult in my opponent. Yes, so you better you be keep your ball no, you be put more energy and hopefully you be
nessa no anso etim kakra free mediama wo man ka cheba okay tie be no nana amankwa anso di any club and di anso say ane anampo some ne samates ane kwakobo ane Gold Stars omo travel akwakobo de tia samates na unim so mu game no eno so etim derby nana amankwa di nkobo aka yentensema nana amankwa anso etimi editu giant of the game from about Capo on first na on so na beda for and so it was we so chana no peba and the more na beba Ghana there
Ghana will say line up
the buy no a ministry no omo na wuni say e bia aha oh said yeah draw no and so atena say oh likely say Ghana aha and you be busy yes abo first game abo second game
the first game no 17th of June Wednesday na second game na 23rd and also a Tuesday na ya boy last game no 27th and no mo susu see ebe ko fila
be based in US ne Canada
yes share so
now be based in US in Canada and I think say clearly BB actually say team na kasa be shada wo US
team na because two matches be US there we base no be US
because US either we play at Arlington or Dallas stadium AT&T stadium Arlington and I said Dallas
Syria ko boba ko Toronto Canada ho and Sani
Asani about Philadelphia so I think Ghana has
na man for be yi feel say no the last game no
Ghana will have no business
in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah.
In the group stage.
Yes, in the group stage. The okoye anymore.
Because it could be say be group A be a baby and Mexico baby or no be do me be qualify for better than if you are maybe a quarter final be maybe you qualify you have to be there. Yeah. So for now, let dear we are speaking to now. Okay. You don't know what will happen in the future. Since now the Ghana be born in 3 group games in Canada and the US.
There's a US Nibia.
Yes.
We flying some because you hono na Arlington and Dallas or now be Canada or the next game is all fly.
Yes.
Also we are fly from Asaba US.
Asaba Philadelphia.
There's a internal expenses no cry easy or do what
Charlie.
One free akotna
ya ma visa se
kono nti ebekọ for no enye easy sa
me fa futu we santo ko edru say a connection men bebempa
e chen for no
ana me de obekọ ana me de obekọ ye 5 die we say so atu fo aka kire ye mpe story bia say we akoji misika
na we ayi misi woni na ho
me futu ametu mono don't be desperate
so me pese me kwachinchina ache na find the right way no obi abehu wachiro baby with na pe obi ama
for now nipa ba ko pe na ye nim sa aban crampo di ama ne se on hwe na on fa amanfo ntu kwan free krom anko
okay
which is Capo traveling tour
okay
you nim say be other company subset working with Capo and now say will be working with the government but the be catch on you say whether say ye be
na see
money nya dey
is a man for bet fa ho twaman for be okroma pa ko wa na man for afro see e kon say how for na debit nya ya kon ya dey
you can't even go there without your match ticket
and they Ghana they can 2,600 Canadian dollar.
And I think for that one year third party near say Omakoto FIFA ho.
And okay. So you going on the website maybe I'll be
and normally what I know is say nipa omotide travel and we ma or more Ghana officially no. If you are paying money to them for more to secure you over there now omotide show accommodation
first
no match match tickets. And I think the Indiana buying it you so money say for your mubenya hobe henha woni ntino because mukubum
yeah to me
baby Yeah. What I say, and even sometimes the government provides match tickets. Yes, me call have come who be say Ghanaians come on buying produce
on a day
no match tickets.
Okay.
What I say for Qatar they did the same thing.
But US need a ticket no go on near the no.
Oh, so just maybe because my allocation on my for budget.
Okay, so we consider factor in
for the group. Ghana tournament. Normally, you more tight and care about the group stage first. The ministry and the budget and a lot of things goes into the group stage. So the moment Ghana qualifies to the next one, then there are plans.
Okay.
For the next one. But if you go through the designated NIPA be a buying it enough fun, so say be a on charge you have to pay this. So I need to work on all of these things now. A baby are saying baby I'll bet or transportation, more match tickets, no more share. And if you are even lucky, you can even get some stipends. But it's not in a bad way. Because they won't combine and do what and you pay for it, and some of these things you need to be taken care of.
Okay.
You need to be very careful. But for the group, I think as it stands now, no Yebeshe Panama, Yebeshe England, you see, 6 months from now. Football now say 6 months, and you might be home. Football can say 6 months.
A lot of things.
Football can 6 months. 6 months to move the league. 6 months to move be for that. 6 months to make for injury ba obi nko World Cup ni bi. 6 months to make for any obi reba. Intimate a break on that. But the fact around the group still remains. Say you share team bia waje World Cup ni bi that way group ma. Yentimi share omo. Ye bre.
Omo majibi dano.
Ye bre because 206 Italy share. 2010 Germany shell, 2014 only Germany board draw, 2022 Uruguay shell. What did they mention? So I am pempen so be say omo maji World Cup ni bi da bia no ye call World Cup na intimini omo. It's factual. I had it that. But you see, Dalich Kasimia, na Mesre Kakra, Ghana for super fan say, oh, he's narrating Ghana and all of those stuff. But he's also speaking from confidence. Capo for 2 consecutive World Cups, Croatia actually BB. 2018 and 2022.
Yeah. More form World Cup.
Omo ba tournament. Omo chire BB na nsia omunye bayre ju. But the most exciting part of now the World Cup groups are all Ghanaian. I also more when you say there's a possibility of being the 3rd best placed team. Group name. Okay. You might also hope certain
when you qualify automatically. 3rd place.
3rd place.
There's a Ghana.
3rd place. So now we accumulate points to do. Because they say 3rd place. Remember for 8 teams.
Okay.
Out of 12 groups.
Okay. So 4 be there. One ya cry name be our 4
be there.
And our 3.
4 basically easily.
Than 3 no.
In
the year the Ghana just ya calculate here in be in Panama.
Panama so you ranked in the US in 30th best national team.
No, the group we a banner ranking. So it gives me chills like 2006 na year call World Cup. Yeah.
And even 2010 so kakra. What I say?
Yeah.
You call World Cup be an be a better than in time to be an end time.
And
by a car we do something and make sure say
a surprise.
But you see, football is developing.
But for this one, no.
You see, football is a first.
Yeah. For this one,
this World Cup give us a lot of surprises.
Yeah. Panama, I don't
know what remember say for no.
We just train and
Panama for how has been our performance in recent tournaments? Just maybe the World Cup there, you South Korea game, no, all of these things.
Yeah.
And Ghana and Kasa, so yes, Sasuko tournament is slow status. When was the last time I call World Cup? I won't say first game you share.
And a month for so any anti-Kaka Panama no cry a last grand game.
Because about England, the second match.
What's that? And yes, starting.
Yes, you World Cup. Be a second match in your yard. 2006, your first match Italy boy 2. Second match in your
Czech Republic.
Your call 2010. Your first match in watch it. Second match they be no crocodile drunk. I'm say 2010 there was okay. Check it 2010, mommy.
Okay.
Check it 2010, mommy. I stand to be corrected on the 2010.
Check it.
But for 2014 dear, 2014 dear. Because I say hono shege reasons BCC 2010 you win first match. Serbia penalty as a moja engineer or bottle. So for Serbia that was the game I share. Then the second game Germany be share. Last game na Germany share 1-0 no. Second game was Australia and your ball 1-1. And not Germany. So that means you share nipa no aje World Cup no for nearly at the last match of the group. And no boy in the de koko enim. Then in 2014, you want check here me 2014 so. Because 2014 about Germany second game and you about Portugal last game. You draw Germany game ni 2-2. What did I mention? And Portugal share last game no. That was that. And I think in the first game too of 2014, you about Serbia and I say one of these nations in the 2014. Then in 2022, your first game against Portugal we lost. Your second game against South Korea we won. And then you check the last game now. Your boy home body team a very good resource. So meaning said the second games of your tournaments and you're tired here.
Well, we need the more thing.
Second game need the more thing.
Second game no more.
Serbia no soon be a quiet bit my area and what team about Droby because if you are not England, you me near to my BB. Hurricane Benjamin Asari.
And Rami was strikers no more like
Kwesi Sibone declarize.
Now England for crack qualifies.
Okay, thank you very much. We are 2014 there na me boy. We are 2014
year and Australia.
Okay, 2010. Germany, United States, Portugal, Ghana. Yes. Yeah. So the first game we lost against USA.
Yeah.
Over Kaya, did that you as a modern ball back here? Did that you Boshen on Beshe 2-1? We lost that game. So 2014 we lost our first game. 2014 we lost our first game. So in the World Cup now, there has been only once and your first game yet in Ashe. That was the 2010 World Cup. I share Serbia by 1-0.
The best out to 2026.
And that one also a boy me to me qualify because the second game near draw against Australia. And the last game near Butia Germany. And Germany no share 1-0. The problem here in our group near say Nipa Wadi World Cup ni be the be a World Cup and either see lose one I draw. England so the second team. So we could maneuver our way through the Panama game as our first game. Then look at the England. Then the last game against Croatia. Then they had ding. Croatia team na man for who ni say.
I know so plan beat me a ball.
Oh, say me England then quite beat me a ball, but Croatia then yeah. So it's coming home for one game. Be pompous.
Oh yeah.
Thomas to go so be kasasa.
Yes.
Watch us. But Croatia then na one share them. Also Croatia one share them superstars.
Yeah. I know more bonus.
But more boys be effective.
Yeah. Omo ye adwuma pa.
So I think this is a fair group for us. Let's see what Otuado has for us. Capo. Another good weekend in the Ghana Premier League, but definitely on Monday, the further discussions by Betuaso Capo. I think say Dr.
Muzu. Abanti. Good. Now we are doing on Monday. In league, you know, Black Stars of Ghana, your group, no so, and you don't somebody abanity. The woman, the Yamama who know, the Kenyan says, a quite number be, and if no so near be, tis the MZ, a modern monarch, say, so Mushena, Umukwa, Umupa, and tis a beefing temper. Because you are now where, dear.
I don't boko.
Good.